Hello, everyone. This is ex Bethelite, and I wanted to, first of all, let you guys know that there is absolutely nothing in place that I'm aware of to help someone get a job after leaving Bethel. Now, yes, I got a letter, which I asked for, and then they gave it to me, but I got a letter that literally had like one sentence on it saying, that Marcus served at Bethel from such and such a time to such and such a time and left in good standing. That's it. That's not going to get you a job. That would that would almost be embarrassing to hand to an employer because they would look at it like, what is this? What kind of job reference is this? That's what they gave me. And really what I want to talk about is the first job fair that I went to. I found out about this job fair in the newspaper, and I drove to this job fair, and it was held in this facility. It uh, looked like a kind of a recreational center, and you had different employers uh, telling people about their companies and handing out uh, resume or I'm sorry, applications. And I went there with some resumes to hand out and went to go fill out applications because I didn't have a job. Of course, you come from Bethel, they don't help you at all with finding a job. And, maybe they think, well, God's going to take care of that part. We're just here to get the free labor. And let's just be honest, you know, they're there getting free labor. That's the truth. And then as far as assistance for the person who is rendering that free labor after they decide that they no longer want it, well, then that's up to God to take care of that. We're not going to do anything. So I'm at this job fair because I didn't have a job, and I'm filling out all kinds of application. I'm handing out my resume that I printed off online, and to the far end of uh, the job fair, you can see a recruitment. It is a National Guard recruiting, I don't know, logo or whatever it is. And there are recruiters there. So as I'm filling out applications and handing people my resume, I'm getting closer and closer to it. And when I get up to it, of course, the concept, in my mind at that time is I'm obviously not going to go fill out anything over there. But when I get close to them, one of the recruiters calls me over. He says, "Hey, come here and let me talk to you for a second." And the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm sure, which is the same thing that comes to most witnesses' minds, is maybe I have an opportunity to witness to him. So I go over, and he invites me to sit down, and I talk to a National Guard recruiter. Well, this recruiter tells me all about benefits in joining the National Guard. Now, the point of all this is not to tell everybody to join the National Guard. The point of this is that this person who I was about to witness to, and keep in mind I had all of my experiences at Bethel, and I'm about to witness to someone who is telling me that their organization offers tuition reimbursement. Their organization offers training that can be used to get a job as a civilian after you're finished with your military service. This man is telling me that basically this organization offers any and everything that Bethel doesn't. So I'm sitting there listening to him, and my purpose in being there was to witness. And I didn't know anything about the military, but I'm sitting there listening to him and knowing what I knew I didn't have, what did I have to witness with? I can't say, well, as Jehovah's Witnesses, we this and we that and we the other, because everything that he mentioned that the National Guard offered, the witnesses didn't. And I'm more taken back and blown away by how secular organizations like military organizations have more concern for their members than some religious organizations, such as the Jehovah's Witnesses. And one of my friends called me and he said, well, what do you think is just reasonable as far as your expectations? And we could go a number of different directions with that. But one thing that I think is reasonable with regards to my expectation is that if you brought someone to Bethel under the understanding that it was going to be their career, which is what was the case, people were going to Bethel and they were told that that was supposed to be their career if they could make it that. So if you bring people into Bethel and you're a religious organization and you're telling people, come here, make this your career, spend your entire life here, and we'll take care of you. Well, if that's what you told them and you decide to change that and start getting rid of branches and start sending Bethelites away, then I think reasonably, at least the people that you told that to, that you told were going to remain at Bethel their entire lives, the people that you told that to, then there should be some assistance with their transition back out into whatever. I think that's reasonable. Now, the question is, why doesn't the governing body think that's reasonable? Or do they think it's reasonable and they just don't care? Comment down below and let me know what you think. If secular businesses, secular authorities have some kind of safety net set in place for their members, you explain to me how something under divine inspiration is below, as far as standards is concerned, below any kind of secular business with regards to taking care of their own. Because all I got was a paper with a sentence on it saying that I served at Bethel. All I got was assistance in packing my belongings and putting it in my car and being told to go somewhere else. You think about that. Think about that. This is an organization that is stating that it's the only one God is using, and there's evidence that it's the only one that God is using because it's better than any other organization. But I've just named a secular business. It wasn't even religious. It's a military. The National Guard is military. That's secular. I would like someone to explain to me why it is that they take care of their own better than the Jehovah's Witnesses. Just people in general should have a code that they live by, just some kind of a code as far as what is right and what is wrong. And if you tell someone, hey, if you come and work for us, we're going to take care of you, and uh, God is going to be happy with you and everything else that they promise you. And then you get that from that person. That person gives you their service. And you turn around and say, well, I've changed my mind. You go and, serve us some other kind of way, but not here. And by the way, we're not going to help you with the job. We're not going to help you with finding a place to stay. We're not. You just leave. If any other organization were to have done that, I bet you there would have been an Awake article or a Watchtower article highlighting how that organization treated its members. Let me say that again. If any organization were to ask for the service of its members, get that service, and then use them and get rid of them, then that would be an article in a Watchtower and Awake to highlight how bad Christendom was and Babylon the Great was. But yet the organization does it. I would love any witness anywhere to call me. I have my numbers up, my email is up. I want any one of them to call me and explain that, because obviously their standards are lower. Now, even if you say, well, I think if you come and serve at Bethel, or you come and serve this organization, and when we're done with you, God will take it from there. We're not going to do anything. God will take care of you. Even if you come with that concept, that's still below the standard of other organizations. There might be religious people in the military, and yet and still they still don't say, hey, come and serve us, and then after we're done with you, we hope God takes care of you. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm standing in front of this National Guard recruiter, and he's telling me about his organization. And I know firsthand about my organization because I worked at Bethel. And comparing the two, there's no comparison with regards to the benefits and taking care of its members. And I know we're comparing a religious organization to a secular organization. And the problem with that is the secular organization is the one that has a higher standard. How is that possible? We know how it's possible. If we're honest with each other, we know how it's possible. One is just using people, and the other one, while it's, using people's service, it's still giving back. So I'd like to know how it is that the organization is selling its properties for large sums of money and won't even take care of the people who serve at Bethel. I'm not talking about your average person in the congregation that can't find a job, or your average person in the congregation that falls upon hard times. And keep in mind, there's churches that take care of them too. I think even the Mormons give out uh, assistance to its members. Now, we're talking about an organization that doesn't take care of the average person at the hall. They don't even take care of the person that serves at the world headquarters. What assistance do you receive once they're done with you at the world headquarters? If the answer is none, I don't understand. I really don't understand, because you have people who understand that. They know, no, my organization doesn't take care of people. Yes, my organization has come out with information and found out later that the information was wrong and had to change it and say, well, the generation of 1914 overlaps somehow with some other generation. So they know the teaching is wrong. They know that the organization, the structure is below any other standard. And then also, too, they know that the conduct isn't any higher. Now, here's the general argument that I would have had back in the day. Well, my organization disfellowships people who do wrongdoing, whereas another church may not disfellowship people who are involved with wrongdoing. I'm going to give my number again, and I want someone to call me so that we can discuss this issue. Is it correct? Is it Christian to shun someone, disfellowship? And it's important that we use the word shun, because excommunication in some churches mean that if a person is involved in wrongdoing, well, they have to step down from whatever position they have in that church. The members still care for them. The members still love them. The members still try to help them, but they aren't supposed to have any kind of position in that organization, in that church. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses, what they're saying is that, well, if you fall prey to immorality or anything else, we straight turn our backs on you. We straight kick you out. Explain that to me, how that helps someone who comes to elders for help and assistance, and they don't get help or assistance, they get kicked out. You think that's a good thing? I want someone to call me. My number is 937-607-5085. Call me. I want someone to call me to explain this. And you're talking about their own mothers turning their backs on them, their own fathers turning their backs on them, their brothers and sisters turning their backs on them. Let's just be real. If something like that were to happen, no, that's not helping them with whatever they're struggling with. No, it's not at all. How is that helping anyone with anything that they're struggling with? The only thing that sort of thing is useful for is cults, and that's the word cult, and people use that word, and that's one of the reasons why is because cults use that to control people. They use your family and your friends and say, if you do not do what we tell you to do, we'll make sure everyone turns their back on you. That's what cults do. That's what Scientology does, and people call Scientology a cult. You look up cults, how do they control people? There's the us versus them mentality. There's the if you turn your back on us, we'll turn our backs on you. Or if you don't do what we say, we're going to all turn our backs on you. How does turning your back on someone help them understand and learn and overcome a struggle that they have? I really want the answer to that. I'm not just saying that. I want the answer to that. And I've been doing these videos, and there hasn't been a single witness. There's been people that have sent me an email, and no one has an answer. No one has an answer. There's people that try to attack me. There was a person that sent me an email and accused me. I don't know where they got this. Of all the videos I've done, I don't know where they got this, but they accused me of being a closet homosexual. And that's just typical. Typically, what happens is a person that is indoctrinated has got to find something wrong with the person that's telling the truth. Something's got to be wrong with them. Something's got to be wrong with them. We got to first find something wrong with them. And then after we find something wrong with them, we say, God's just going to take care of it. It's those two things. One, we got to find something wrong with the person that is exposing our organization. Two, we got to just tell them that God's going to take care of it eventually. We don't know how. He just is. Those are the only answers I've ever gotten for anything that I've mentioned. So again, let me know what you think. My number again, 937-607-5085. Send me a text. Send me an email. My email, BETHELITE, the number 7 at yahoo.com. This is ex-Bethelite signing out.